The rise of importance of Lucky Luciano, I believe, basically brought the American Republic culture into the 20th century.
Luciano in 46 was sent back to Italy, and Costello was the boss of the thing. And Genovese was very angry about it. He thought he should have been the boss. Paul Castellano 4 years ago, they're all killing one another, plotting against one another, stealing from one another, and the evidence is there, but the media never picked it up and said, you know, this story is a myth, they're all together.
And apparently Maranzano didn't take that to heart because he allowed Luciano to live at least long enough for Luciano to kill Maranzano. Luciano had, since boyhood, been friends with Jewish gangsters, Meyer Lansky and Mosey Siegel, and he relied on the Jewish gangsters to do his work for him.
You're one family. Gagliano is another family. Mangano was a family. Luciano naturally was his family. And Bonanno, Joe Bonanno.
Each family was headed by a boss who had an underboss and a consigliere designed by Luciano. There were captains, either Capo, Capo Casino, depending upon who you listen to and who you believe. And within each crew of a Capo Regime, there were soldiers. Luciano was convicted of compulsory prostitution by Tom Dooley, the famous racket buster in New York County.
I mean, a terrible thing to say, but from a point of view of business, they made the right decision. I mean, the witness is invaluable. You can't prosecute without the witness.
On Genovese's behalf, took a shot at Costello in the lobby of his apartment house, just wounding him. But presumably that wounding was enough. Costello relinquished his role as head of the family, and Genovese once again assumed power. The Sox Lanza controlled the piers in New York. Indeed, they still do to this very day. There was concern, of course, during World War II that there would be sabotage on the piers, and as a result, U-boats would be able to move in offshore and attack the American mainland. The War Department was very concerned that it had control over the piers and that it had people on the piers that was reliable and would support the American side in the war. And as a result, through the auspices of Tom Dewey, they worked out an arrangement where Luciano would give the okay, the authorization to Lanza to have the piers during the war, that it was important that an accommodation be reached for a short period of time with the mob, and in exchange for that, Luciano could be pardoned and deported, it seemed like a reasonable approach to make, accommodation to reach.
Lucky Luciano was the boss of that family, and he went to prison in 1936. He was in prison, but he's still the boss. The underboss was Vito Genovese, all right?
From Charlie Lucky Luciano. Shackled to his henchman, the overlord of a $12 million a year vice ring goes to prison for from 30 to 50 years. Justice Philip J. McCook, whose stern sentences struck terror into the underworld. At Sing Sing, the droopy-eyed gang leader gets his last glimpse of the outside world for many years. When he comes out, he'll be an old man. New York's big shot is now just prisoner number 92168. The lowest form of racketeering has been given a death blow, and Lucky is lucky no more.
Don't do what we tell you, we'll kill you. They say, when you're in the family, you gotta have respect for the leaders, for the father figure, okay? So they were very smart, even though they did not have the formal education. But if you take a good look at the history, and this is where I put the blame on the media, the history is there.
Part of the meeting in 1957, Appalachian, New York, was to discuss this and coordinate. It was basically in 1957.